to my channel. My name is Ege, and today we're going to be doing the media book freakout tag. So first of all, I know I'm late to the party. Everybody has done their freakout tag by now. I know. I was busy. I finally have time to film, so take what you see. Anyway, the first question is books. How many books you've read so far this year? And I think I've read like 70 to 72 books. I'm not really sure about the number, but I feel like I've read around 70 books so far this year. So the next question is best sequel you've read this year, and I haven't actually read a lot of sequels. I should have by now read a lot of sequels, but I haven't because I don't know. I just haven't. But the only book that I have read is Actual Age Eve Brown, and it's technically not the sequel, but it's like the closest thing to a sequel for this question. So my answer is Actual Age Eve Brown. I gave that book 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. It just made me know that I love the Brown Sisters trilogy with my heart and soul, because I adored all the books in that series, especially Actual Age Eve Brown. So yeah, it's at this point it's like the best sequel, even if it's technically not a sequel. It's okay. So the next question is new release you haven't read yet but would like to read, and I have a lot. The first is Vagabonds by OrhueEghosasere. Tomorrow I Become a Woman by OrhueEghosasere. There's Daily Words Destiny by what's her name? I can't remember the other. Truth Lies and Mr. Grey by Shelley Ellis, and the second book in Black Sun series, which is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhurst. These are the books that I want to read this year, but I haven't gotten the chance to yet. But yeah, anticipated releases that I want to read. Okay, so the next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and honestly, I don't think there's any book. I don't think I have any anticipated release that hasn't come out yet. If there is, I don't know about it yet. For now I don't have any, because I'm not really like up to date, so I don't really know about the books coming out in the next half of the year yet. I'm still trying to catch up with the ones that have come out. So for now, there's nothing until I know about it. Like, I feel like there is. I'm not just aware. I don't know about the book yet, but there should be an anticipated release for the second half of the year that I definitely want to read. Question is your biggest disappointment, and for me it will be Love is Beautiful when in Bloom by Lara Karim. I was really expecting to be blown away by this book. Like, the book is okay, I guess. Like, it's an okay book, but like, I don't know. I just was expecting more from the book, and it didn't really give. So I was kind of really disappointed. I even like sold the book, like legit got rid of it, because I could not. I was so disappointed, very heartbroken, and the cover is so beautiful. So I wanted to keep it, but at the same time, I was just like, I did not like this book again. Just let it go. So I let it go. Anyway, that's like, I think that's one of my biggest disappointments so far. That and Leave the World Behind. Like, Leave the World Behind, I don't know why. I think last year I saw someone read it, and like, the person spoke really highly of the book, so I just went into it expecting to be blown away by the plot twist at the end, because I knew that it was going to be like confusing for some time and I might not completely get it, but like the ending, like the payoff at the end will be worth it. So I was really looking forward to be blown away, only to meet more confusion, only to be met by more confusion by this book. Like, I literally did not get it. The thrillery aspect of this book, I did not get it. Everything went over my head. I was confused. I was lost. I did not even understand. It made absolutely no sense to me. Like, the ending was so underwhelming and confusing, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? I feel like this book has its audience, like people that would get it and be like, oh my god, mind-blowing, spectacular, never been done before, completely unseeable. Have you heard this? Like, I feel like there are people that would get it, but I was not one of them, and I was just really disappointed, because I was really looking forward to it, to be blown away, but I was not blown away. So yeah, for the people that get it, I'm really happy for them. I'm just sad that I'm not one of you. It's biggest surprise this year, and for that I have two books. First is 7 Days in June. Now I know this book is a Bookstagram darling. I'm not really sure of BookTube, but Bookstagram, everybody that has read it loves it. They talk about it, it's highly recommend. And I think that was last year, Sha. Yeah, it was last year. This book was Bookstagram's darling last year, and everybody that has read it, they love it. Always have good things to say about it. But you know the thing with hype books now. So I was just like, will this book really bang though? Like, I was scared for the longest time, and then my friend suggested this book because I'm always body reading books with my friend. His name is Joshua. But anytime I say I'm body reading this book with somebody, there's a really high chance that he's the person I'm body reading it with. So he was like, oh, again, let's read this book. And I was like, even if it doesn't end up bagging, at least I feel like there are certain books that if I body read it with people, even if the book ends up being nonsense, I will still have a good time because the reading experience will be great because I'm reading it with my friend. So I was just like, even if the book ends up not being as good as Bookstagram made it seem, at least while body reading it with my friend, I can shit talk about it a lot, which will greatly improve the reading experience. So I was just like, okay, no problem. And we did, and from page one I was blown away. Like, literally love all the characters. I love Shane, I love Ava, I love Audrey, everybody. Oh god, this book, in love. I'm in love. This is like one of my favorite romance books this year. I feel like I should make a video of all my favorite romance books because they're not a lot, but the ones that really blow me away, they always stay with me for like a really long time. Anyway, that's by the way. So what is this book about? Oh yes, this book is like a second chance romance. It takes place in a week time. It's basically about these two writers who are currently experiencing writer's block. So there's Shane, and he's like a literary fiction type of writer, and then there's Ava. She writes paranormal romance, smart type of books, and then they both meet at this writers convention, and then they were both, yeah, they used to be in a relationship before when they were teenagers, and then during this 1 week in June they try to reconnect and try and like discover why they broke up in a really terrible way and just everything. That was a very terrible description, I'm sorry, but like that's basically the book. It was really good. Like, I highly recommend. And yeah, check for trigger warnings because it actually deals with a lot of heavy themes which I did not expect, but like it's still a really good book. It completely took me by surprise again was God's Children and Little Broken Things by Arinze Ifekandu. This book like shot up to like one of my best books, favorite books of all times. Like, immediately I started it. The writing in this book, spectacular. The characters, the stories, oh my god, this book is 5 stars, 10 out of 10, the best, 100 over 100, A-star, A+, whatever it is you want to rate this book, the highest of the highest. That's what it's getting. So this book is by Arinze Ifekandu. It's a collection of 9 short stories that depicts the sad realities of queer people, especially gay men living in Nigeria. It is heartbreaking, it is beautiful. This book has a very, I don't know, it deals heavily on loss. There's just this a bit theme of loss that goes with this book. Like, each story, there's just this, you just feel it in the air that it's just very sad but very beautiful at the same time. I don't even know where to start from with this book. This book is, for me, Sha, it's a masterpiece. It will forever be up there with the greats, like the great works of fiction. This book will be up there with them for me because I adore this book so much. And the funniest part is I would not necessarily call myself a short story person. Like, short stories most of the times are hit or miss. I can say on my hand the number of short stories I've actually liked, and they are not a lot. So for this one, my friend, it was again Joshua was the person that introduced me to this book. He was just like, oh, this book just came out, let's read it. And I was just like, initially I was skeptical. I honestly did not want to read it. But like the only reason why I read it was because most of the time I suggest the book that we body read, me and my friend Joshua. I'm the person that mostly suggests the books that we read, and he's always like ready to drop everything and read it with me. So I'll just like, let me give him the same energy he always gives me. So I'll just like, you know what, let me just read this book for his sake. And I started, and immediately I was transported into euphoria. This book, I think I should stop talking at this point, because it will pain me if somebody picks up this book and it's not the same thing they experience. What I'm experiencing now is not what they experience. But this book is so good. Like, if you don't get the same thing I'm getting out of this book, then my dear, I'm truly terribly sorry. I'm really sorry. But this book is a masterpiece. I don't care if you don't think it is. That's your headache. This book is a masterpiece. Like, each story is just let's stop there, and let's just, the last time I'm going to gush about this book, let's just talk about some of my favorite stories in the collection of short stories. I think my first is What Singer Says About Love, God's Children Are Little Broken Things, Alubam, The Dreamer's Litany, and Where the Heart Sleeps. I'm looking at my notes because I can't remember them off the top of my head. I think there are 9 stories, and 5 out of them love them. The others were also really good, but these were like the masterpiece within the masterpiece. Okay, I think I have gushed enough about this book. I highly recommend, by the way, if you love short stories. If you don't like short stories, try it out. Who knows, maybe this will be the book that will initiate you into short story life. So the next question is favorite new author, and no surprise here, my favorite new author is Arunze Ifekandu. He's the person that wrote God's Children Are Little Broken Things. Clearly he's going to be a fave after writing a masterpiece like that. Of course he's going to be. The question is favorite new character. For this I chose Anya Forger. In case you don't know who Anya is, she is the daughter of Lloyd, and well, she's the fake daughter. She's technically their real daughter because she's adopted, but like, she's the fake daughter of Lloyd and your Forger from Spy Family. If you don't know of Spy Family, it's a anime series that just came out. I think it came out this year. It's also a manga series. I'm currently reading the manga. I haven't watched the anime yet. It's basically about this family made up of a spy, an assassin, and an expert. I mean, psychic. So the story takes place in the kingdom of Westania, and you know what, I can't remember the name, but basically we have these 2 warring countries that are fighting. There's the West and the East, and they are fighting. So basically, what's his name? I just said his name just now. There's a spy named Twilight, who is sent, I think he's sent from the West to the East in order to discover a secret that will bring about world peace between these 2 countries. And in order to learn this secret, he has to create a fake family in order to infiltrate a school and get closer to a minister. I think the minister is the person holding the secrets. And so in order to do that, he needs a child, and in order to appear and in order to do that, he needs to have a wife and a child. So he goes to an orphanage and adopts this young lady known as Anya, who actually has, I think, psychic ability. She can read people's minds basically, and so the young lady is able to read Twilight's mind. So she knows that he's a spy, but he doesn't know that she can read people's mind. And then he meets this other person, that's the wife. He meets her at a tailoring shop, and he proposes the idea that they should get married, and she agrees because the young lady, now that's the wife, her name is Yo, she's an assassin, and in order to cover up her assassin job, she has to get married, because it's at that time it's suspicious for a single woman to be living by herself. People would think that you're a spy, so she doesn't want to blow her cover. So she agrees to marry Twilight in order to pretend to be normal, so people will be suspicious of her and then think that she's a spy, or be something like that. Anyway, we have these 3 people who are keeping secrets from each other and trying to save the world, bring about world peace. It's a really funny, really nice show. It's very cute, very wholesome family show. It's really good. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's, yeah, I'm still reading the manga. I want to at least finish the manga. I'll be up to date at the manga before starting the anime. But Anya is my best girl. She's like my favorite new character. I love her. I also love Twilight and Your, but Anya owns my heart. Like, I'm her number one fan. I really, really love Anya. She just, anyway, Anya is just, it's always a vibe. The young lady's chaotic. She's funny. She's just everything. She's the moment. She's a star. So the next question is books that made you cry, and I think the only book that has made me cry this year is They Both Die at the End. Now, if you had said movies or series that have made me cry, I have just been unleashing a lot of water for a lot of series, K-dramas and C-dramas this year. But that was not your question, so you're not going to know which of them has made me bawl my eyes out. But we're talking about books here. Anyway, for books that have made me cry so far, only They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera has made me cry. And you know the funny part about this book is that you know the end. The title already tells you how it's going to end. Like, we already know. But you see that tears, you will still cry. It's that cry that was hungry you initially when you decided to read this book. You still cry that cry, because this book, oh my god, I picked up this book thinking, you know what, since I already know how it's going to end, there's no way, absolutely no way that I will still cry. I was lying to myself, my dear. I cried. I cried. It was not funny. Anyway, it's a really good book. I highly recommend. It's basically about these two young boys who, at the beginning of the day, they learn that they are going to die that day, and then they decide to spend their last day together. It's a really good book. There's some romance in it, and it's a really nice book. I highly recommend. Yeah, but just get your tissue paper ready, except you have a strong heart, but it's really good. The next question is books that made you happy. Actor Eve Brown made me very, very happy. The characters in that book just gave me joy. Eve and what's his name, Nicholas Fred, I can't remember the young man's name. The young man from Actor Eve Brown and Eve herself, they give me joy. Their banter, the back and forth, the way this boy was obsessed with Eve, it gave me joy. Brought joy to my heart. The next is clearly Spy Family. I already talked about it. You know, the one with Anya and Yo and Twilight. Love them to death. The Yarichin Beach Club. This one came as a complete surprise to me. It's a yaoi manga. Yaoi is like the smart version of BL. BL is boys love. If you don't know what yaoi is smart. Yes, yaoi is sport. This book was yaoi going into it, but I was so scandalized. It is, I saw a page, my god. But it's really good. I really loved it. I enjoyed it. It's funny and it's also cute sometimes. The smart part aside, this book is really good. I would recommend. And then the final book that brings joy to my heart and my soul is Heartstopper. This is just a good time, a fun time, a very, like, the couple, these two boys, they are so, Nick and Charlie, they are so, I think one of the shocking things for me is how unproblematic these people were. Like, their relationship was just so wholesome and beautiful. Like, they don't have any issue. When they have issues, they sort it out. Like, they sort it out, and it's not problematic. There was no toxicity. No, is it toxicity? Yes, toxicity. There was nothing. It was just a good time. This is a fun, wholesome, beautiful book that just picks you up. It hugs you. This book gives you a hug, literally. It's just soft and fluffy, and it's beautiful. About these two boys and their relationship, their boyfriends, obviously, and like how they started their relationship, how the relationship is going. I'm sorry, I don't have the right words right now to describe this book. It's just really, really good. This book literally gives you a hug. It's a very wholesome book, very fluffy, very unproblematic. You are just there for a good time, and you are going to have a good time. You will not be stressed out in any form or way. Okay, we're done now. I have a vlog for Heartstopper. I'll link it if you want to. I don't even know if if you want to know more of my thoughts on Heartstopper, there's a vlog where I read all the first 4 volumes of it and then watch the series. You can watch that if you want to know more of my thoughts for Heartstopper. Question is the most beautiful book you bought so far this year. So because in case you haven't noticed, change of location, I'm not at home currently. I'm in Lagos while filming this. My books are not with me, so we're going to talk about specifically about the books I have with me right now. The most beautiful book I bought so far. I'm just going to talk about my most recent buys, and yeah, my most recent buys, and we're going to look at the books I have with me right now in Lagos, and like a recent buy that's with me here that I think is really beautiful. So we're going to talk about Bitter. Yeah, this is a book I think it came out this year by Africa Emezi. I really love this cover. Like, this cover is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it because phone camera might not be too good, but like, this book is stunning. You can't see, you can't lie to me because I know it's beautiful. So if this book is not fine, you are lying to yourself. But this book is stunning. Like, it's really nice. I really like the cover design. Like, this is a cover. This is a cover. Anyway, I don't have all my books here because I have a lot of really beautiful books. I spend on beautiful books. Anyway, but for the ones I have here, I think the cover is really pretty. So for books, then the final question is books I need to finish before the end of the year. I have a lot of books to read by the end of the year, but I think one series I would like to complete is Wayward Children series by I can't remember the name of the author, but I started the series last year. It's like a novella. They are all short, like really short books, like novella type books about children, kind of like, is it the Chronicles of Narnia now? Yeah, I think it's the Chronicles of Narnia, how like they go into like a different world. Yeah, something like that. So basically, they're a group of children who, when they are younger, they step into this other world. I think there are different worlds for different people, and then they step into the other world, and then at some point some of them are sent back to our world, that's the real world, and then they go to this school where they try and teach them how to like acclimatize and learn to function the way we function as humans. I am butchering the explanation of this book. I'll try and look for the description on Goodreads and leave a link, so if you are curious about the series, you can just click on the link and check out the book on Goodreads and understand it better. But the Wayward Children series, I've read 3 books in the series so far and I'm really enjoying it, so I want to see if I can complete the series this year. Anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching to this point with me, and I hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you got up to this point, you can tell me about one of your favorite books of this year, or if there's any question that I've answered here that you would like to answer, you can also answer it if you want to. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Bye.